And then the college and career counselors had probably a dozen colleges there that are career technical engineering specific. It was really cool. They were pretty busy talking to families. So just another fun thing that is a little hidden gem in our community, I think.
Sorry to miss it.
My daughter helped volunteer during that as well, and I asked her, like, are they paying you in pizza, or like, why do you? I think that one was the one that started later, but to volunteer to stay in the evening at Warren and not for a grade, or I mean, just really speaks to the connection some of our teachers have, or the programs we offer, and how it resonates, and the fact that like someone like one of my kids wants to stay and even participate and tell everybody else and show everybody else how awesome the graphic printing class is and making t-shirts. And so it's nice to hear all this work that we do here in improving programming and supplies, and then all the work our teachers do. It just all kind of connects, and pretty neat to see. And I think that's a great shirt.
I kind of messed up on it. It's not that great.
No one noticed until you said it. All right, Lisa, are you able to, did you grab the public comments, or would you please? Because at this point, we're on to public comment. And we're going to see if anyone wants to address the board. Did anybody sign in? One person? Okay, so then I will read. If there's anyone that didn't sign in that wants to address the board, you didn't have to sign in. We can just call you up. Thank you. Appreciate that. What we're going to ask is that you come up to the podium, and board policy dictates that public comment is no longer than 30 minutes, but with only one person, that shouldn't be an issue. It's helpful, well, actually, let me skip down. I think all I really need to say for the one person is just a reminder that to speak clearly into the microphone, state your name, relationship to the district, and by board directive, you're allowed up to 3 minutes. So, but one or both, or are you both together? Okay, so then together you have 3 minutes. Unless you want to do it separately, then you have 3 minutes each. So go ahead, and I'll start the timer. Go ahead.
¿Hay alguien que hable español en esta sala? ¿Que me traduzca? ¿Me puede venir a traducir? Ok,
pero llévatelo lento para decirles.
Pero nomás dan 3 minutos, ¿no? Dice. Sí. Ok, está bien. Hola, buenas noches.
Hi, good evening.
Mi nombre es Jared Zabaleta, tengo 14 años.
Name is Jaime?
No, Jared.
Jared? Jared.
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta, and he's 14 years old.
Acabo de llegar a Estados Unidos hace 2 años.
Arrived to the United States 2 years ago.
Sé que el inglés es lo más difícil de llegar a un país y no saber su idioma, es lo más complicado.
The English language is the most difficult task that he's had to endure during the past 2 years.
Pero gracias a los maestros que hablan español, incluyendo a Miss Vargas, es de las personas que me han ayudado. Y además, si Miss Vargas se va, yo no voy a poder con quién hablar seguro. Cuando
He said that, hold on, let me, repite la primera parte.
Gracias a los maestros.
Oh yeah, he said that thankfully, he said he's grateful for the teachers who speak Spanish and that have helped him along, especially Mrs. Vargas. ¿La señora Vargas o el señor? So Marlene Vargas, he said that he's very grateful for her especially, and if she leaves the district, basically he's saying that he fears what would be of him.
Y
Great teacher.
sobre mis provocaciones de perder la habilidad de hablar con un consejero que habla español.
So he's here in regards to his concerns about the potential loss of a counselor that he trusts and the ability of succeeding.
Puede ayudar con la high
With losing a
school.
Spanish-speaking counselor that he believes.
Han dicho que estará alguien con el que pueda hablar en español, pero ¿por qué debo tener otro estudiante? ¿Tiene la habilidad de hablar con consejeros normales?
Saying that he's been told that he will have the ability to have the support of other students, but he does, he's not in agreement with another student. He would like an actual staff member, a counselor that can continue to guide him.
Desventaja porque yo no sé inglés y espero que ustedes me entiendan. A lo mejor
Saying that by this loss, it will be a huge disadvantage to him. Síguele.
espero que a lo mejor ustedes me entiendan. Nunca han, ¿cómo se dice? Pues espero que ustedes me entiendan al saber que yo vengo de otro país.
So he's hoping that we can understand where he's coming from, especially coming from a different country and having to learn a different language and all the challenges that go with that.
Hold on one second. Even just to, if anyone's keeping tabs, we are over the 3 minutes. However, given the unique circumstances of the translation, we're going to continue on. But I want to cap it at 6
Yeah.
because it's taking about half the time to translate. so
¿Tienes más o
continue.
ya?
¿Puedo decir otras cosas?
Sí, puedes decir más.
Yeah. Y Miss Vargas, la verdad, es una persona muy importante para mí porque me ha ayudado con mis calificaciones, me ha ayudado también con el inglés afuera y adentro de la escuela, me ha dado consejos y todo.
Vargas has been has been a key component of his learning. She is very important to him. She has helped him greatly academically, emocionalmente también, emotionally, inside and outside of school.
Ya, muchas gracias por escucharme.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. And we don't typically respond, but I just want to say I know it's hard for our students sometimes to come up and speak in front of us. So continue to speak your mind and advocate and all the things that such as what you're doing now. So, but we can't respond specifically to what you were requesting or saying. Thank you though for coming.
You want to translate?
Nomás te está comentando brevemente que nosotros no podemos tener un diálogo contigo, o sea que nomás desde que tú nos presentes el discurso, la información y nosotros ya aparte tomamos la información y right? Did he say anything more?
No te pueden responder.
Ya no.
Tú sigue, usa tu voz.
Y uno ya lo toma en cuenta.
Thank you.
¿Yo también puedo decir unas palabras?
Sí.
Ok, espérenme un momento. Hola, buenas noches. Les voy a contar un poco sobre mí.
Hi, good evening. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself.
Mi nombre es Jorge y soy nacido en México. Me vine a Estados Unidos hace 3 años. Y lo que más se me ha complicado a mí y a mi familia es el idioma que se usa aquí, que es el inglés.
Time here is the English language.
Desde que me vine a los Estados Unidos no siempre tuve la oportunidad de tener a alguien que me ayude con el inglés.
Since he's been here in the U.S., he and his family haven't always had the opportunity to have English support.
Sé que ustedes saben que el inglés es una habilidad necesaria, ya que nosotros lo usamos en la escuela y nos podría servir en el futuro.
So he's saying that we all know that English is an essential piece of the day and succeeding. ¿Qué fue la última parte?
De que nos podría ayudar la habilidad de...
Oh, and having the English language as the ability to go throughout your day, which is a barrier for them.
Y la razón por la que vine aquí es porque en nuestra escuela hay una consejera que se llama señora Vargas.
The reason I'm here tonight is because there's a school counselor by the name of Mrs. Vargas.
Y esa consejera me ha estado ayudando a aprender inglés y ayudarme con las tareas, trabajos o cosas así.
This counselor has helped me with homework, academically. Me dijiste académicamente.
Como las tareas,
Las tareas.
trabajos
Helping him with general work
y también como los problemas que tengo.
and also his current situation, such as problems that he may have.
Hace poco un compañero me dio la noticia de que iban a hacer una cosa que se llama loop.
He said recently another peer of his mentioned that the district is looking into looping.
Y mi amigo me explicó que tal vez podríamos perder a mis Vargas como consejero
That there's the possibility that they would be losing Mrs. Vargas as a counselor.
y que tal vez nuestra nueva consejera no hable español, entonces estas
The possibility that the new counselor would not be of Spanish speaking to
En-
assist them.
Entonces estas palabras son para que no cambien a mis Vargas como nuestro consejero.
The words he's speaking tonight to the board is for us to take into consideration that Ms. Vargas not be taken away from them.
Ya que ella nos ha ayudado a mí y a muchos compañeros hispanos con nuestros trabajos
Since she's helped them a lot with Spanish speaking and to all of the Spanish speaking population.
y nos ha ayudado a que salgamos adelante.
Helped them move forward with school.
Y mis Vargas no solo nos ayudó con inglés, también nos ayudó con problemas que tuvimos afuera de la escuela y en la escuela.
Mrs. Vargas not only has helped us academically in school, but outside of school with outside issues and problems that they have come about.
Y es la única consejera hispana que hemos tenido y que nos ha podido ayudar con todo lo que nosotros le decimos.
She has been, a ver, repíteme la última parte. Trying to keep up, sorry.
De que es la única consejera que hemos tenido que es hispana, que nos puede ayudar.
So she's the only Hispanic counselor that they've had and the only one that's been able to help them
Y espero,
inside and outside of school.
y espero que con estas palabras se puedan reflexionar sobre lo que están haciendo y nos puedan dar el privilegio de que Miss Vargas se quede como nuestra consejera para los estudiantes de 9 y 10 grado.
So he's hoping that the board can consider keeping Mrs. Vargas para los que todavía están en el Old Plain campus.
Del grado 9 y 10 de como like freshman y el
Yeah,
otro.
so he's hoping that we can consider keeping Mrs. Vargas with the 9th and 10th graders.
Ya, gracias por escuchar.
¿Ustedes son en primer año de la secundaria?
Sí,
So they're freshmen. So basically he's saying that for 9th and 10th grade, so they can keep her next year.
y también algo que les quería decir es de que al poder tener a Miss Vargas como nuestra consejera, no solo nos ayuda a nosotros dos, sino que también hay muchas personas hispanas en nuestra escuela que no entienden el idioma, ya sea porque se acaban de mudar o así, y nos puede ayudar mucho en eso.
So Mrs. Vargas, not only has she helped them too, but that she's helped many other Spanish-speaking students who are very limited with English or have just come to the U.S. and have no English.
Eso era todo. Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias, thank you. All right, so we did the same thing with that young man, which is doubled the time since the unique circumstances of having to translate. Thank you for translating. I know it's not your official role as a board member, but
I'm happy to.
we do appreciate you stepping in and doing that on behalf of the kids and actually for the benefit of all of us as well who don't speak Spanish. Okay, is there anyone else for public comments that did not sign in? Okay. Next is board discussion of visitor comment items in case that we had any direction or comments on the topic. Okay. Next up is committee reports. It's my understanding there's nothing additional to add to committee reports, so they were provided for us. Hopefully everybody had a chance to read those. Next item is superintendent's report, which is going to go to Dr. Weisman, who I believe has a few slides and topics he wants to discuss with us.
I got my slides on the recognition.
Okay,
so
so
I'm
there's
good.
nothing
Nope.
even under superintendent's report. Okay, there's a lot of information in there, so again, hopefully we all had a chance to take a look at that.
One thing that was in that report that I just wanted
Yeah,
to
feel free.
highlight is related to health insurance rates.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes. That was an eye-popping number.
Yes, because
it was just a big number, and so I just wanted to reflect on it, and I think,
22%, yeah, that's a big number.
17 to 22%, yeah.
Yeah, for those that wouldn't have had the benefit of what we're looking at, we're talking pretty high, double digits,
It's usually double digits, but it's more
20
now double
plus
digits.
double digits.
Yeah.
Which, the reason you're bringing that up is
we're responsible for how we use the taxpayers' funds, and so I think we need to pay attention to, like, looking for opportunities to manage that piece of the budget. It's just, it keeps going up at a much faster rate than,
Our CPI.
yeah, like, the rate of inflation in the general economy, any kind of income that we're getting, so.
So it's not something that should just be in our report, we say, yep, looks high, and we
Right.
move on.
Yeah.
So you're requesting we discuss it further, probably at some committee, possibly, that
Yeah.
it's logical to bring that up and figure out how do we get that number down. And I'm sure there's a variety of, first off, I'm sure it's already been discussed, but I think it's a little more time sensitive when you see a number like that, and maybe some of those things that we've said, oh, this would be nice if we did X, Y, and Z, are probably now fall into a different category of we must do one of these things, X, Y, and Z, or else we can't sustain this long term, in protection of our people. Like it's just you can't rob one pot of money to pay another, so something's going to give at some point. So, any other comments on the health insurance?
Well, we're used to seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in my history doing business before I worked for the state, it was 10 to 12% increases typical. Now we're looking at 17 to 22. That is, I don't remember seeing that high. So it's more than just the usual significant. It's alarming, and I'm concerned that if we don't take a look at the way we're managing it, that we may be, saddled with a uh-oh moment. So I think we really do need to take a look at what we're doing here, because it's 22%. I don't think I've ever seen it over 20. Have you? I don't know. Has anyone ever seen it over 20? I've never seen it over 20. So have you? Okay, so.
And I assume that's why Gallagher sent the note, was just say, hey, this is abnormal. I don't know, Chris, if you have anything to add to that, but that's the impression that we have, is they sent it because it's abnormal. And they want to make sure it doesn't surprise people if higher numbers come. So our number isn't 22 necessarily. We don't know what it'll be, but do you have anything to add to that? Am I missing anything?
I know they said that the pharmacy is accelerating faster than the
Inpatient.
medical. And they also did say outpatient seems to be also rising fairly quickly. So the webinar that I was in, they said that the costs are going up faster than they had anticipated. So it's even beyond what, our insurance, who deals with this all the time, so.
Yeah, when it says prescription drug spend is significantly outpacing inpatient hospital spend, I mean, if anyone's ever been inpatient and actually seen a bill, that's alarming, so we're dealing with some very heavy dollars now, so.
I know we have an insurance committee,
Correct.
correct?
We do have
When
an
is
insurance
that next meeting? Do either of you know?
Usually they're meeting,
Probably be January.
yeah.
If that's true, then we need to, I'm sure this number would be put there, but maybe carve out time for the urgency of the matter and discussing what we can do as an organization, what our employees can do. Something's got to happen. So maybe that's the time in which the details are discussed. I mean, you probably already had that, but I just felt, after hearing these comments, felt the need to say it out
I
loud.
remember seeing minutes come by, maybe 2 months ago, so we should be due for another.
Yeah, I think we have 3 meetings a year, one at the beginning of the year, one mid-year, which will be coming up, and then one right after the rates come through, so we can talk about the rate adjustments, and that's usually March, April.
And of course, if we like as board members wanted to attend that meeting, we're welcome to do so, right? So anybody here
It's
who,
held during the day, I think, as part of the.
so, yeah, I'm just want to make sure that if we're this concerned and if you
Yep.
feel you want to join it, you know you can. And if it's during the day, maybe there's a way to Google Meet people in.
Yep, definitely.
Depending on their schedule. Okay, thanks, Susan, for bringing that up. I appreciate that. All right, I think we're moving on to consent agenda, where I'll read the motion and the items. I move to approve the consent agenda items, the 2026-2027 school calendar, boys basketball trip to Highland, Illinois for a basketball tournament on January 10th, 2026, boys varsity wrestling team to, somebody say that?
Anna.
Thank you. Somebody from Wisconsin, please say that. Wisconsin for the Cheesehead, this is funny to read, the Cheesehead National Wrestling Tournament, January 9th and 10th. Can't believe I actually, yeah.
I'm sorry, you
Go ahead.
started. Is it any way we can separate one of these? Can one of them be pulled out to be
At the
voted?
beginning, that's when we already approved the agenda. So that's when it would have been best to pull it at that time. I'm not sure when I'm in the middle of a motion, we really can, because we've already approved the agenda. There was, so at the beginning, just so we don't lose sight of this, yeah, at the beginning when I ask, does anybody want to pull anything from consent, that is the time. Are you okay with that?
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll just.
Like you still went during discussion, you could bring up
Got
what
it.
you want, but as far as an individual vote, unless, okay. Let's stick to, sure. Thanks for asking the question. So I'm going to continue on. The Honors Jazz Ensemble trip to Peoria, Illinois, Civic Center on January 29th and 30th for the Illinois Music Education Conference. Board of Education meeting minutes for the executive session and regular session meeting from November 18th, 2025. Board of Education executive session and regular session meeting minutes for the special board meeting on December 2nd, 2025. Personnel recommendations, Exhibit A and B, and bills dated December 16th, 2025 in the amount of $6,970,577.19. Do I have a second?
Second.
And now is discussion of which, Tasia, go ahead if you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, sorry about that. The Honors Jazz Ensemble, I'll be passing because I need to recuse myself from that, as my son is participating in that trip.
Oh, okay. Understood.
I would just like to add that I'm so glad to see field trips. I just always love to see field trips happen. I think field trips are a great experience for our kids. I know these are all extracurricular. Yay.
So getting kids outside the
Getting
walls.
kids outside the building, new
Yeah.
experiences, traveling together.
For
it's
sure.
all good,
Yeah, there was a time in which not a lot of that went on.
right?
So it's great. Okay, so we had some discussion and roll call vote, please.
Hope,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Fields,
Pass.
you abstain, right?
Well,
Squires,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. All right. I didn't see anything under discussion items, so we're moving on to action items, where the first one is approval of resolution authorizing final aggregate tax levy for the year 2025, where I believe Chris Green has some comments on this. Maybe. Yes.
So tonight, the board will be asked to approve the 2025 tax levy. The 2025 estimated aggregate levy does not exceed the prior year's aggregated levy extension by more than 105%. Therefore, we are not required to have a levy hearing. So after, once the board has approved the tax levy, we will file the documents with the county by the December 30th deadline. Some of the factors to consider when making the levy decision is our district's long-term financial health, the impact of our finances on student programming, and conditions of our facilities and the improvements that may be needed. The estimated impact on a for the taxpayer based on a $400,000 home for this year, for 2025, would be $95. And then lastly, Public Act 1030394 is a requirement to be presented to the board. It is a calculation of our 3-year average fund balance over our 3-year average of our expenditures. And I don't know if you can see it up there, but we are clearly, our operational funds are not 2.5 times the 3-year average of our expenditures. So we are within, and the board does not have to take any action about disclosing to the state. So our is below our expenditures.
Okay. Oh, I like a slide that says end of presentation. That's great.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, but it's the end of the presentation. I mean, go ahead.
So, I would assume, that we're not leaving any money on the table.
Correct.
And our fund balances are not gonna be too high in certain areas as,
Yes, and with the levy is our ask, but that does not mean that that is what we're going to get in the spring. So
Good.
we file the documents with the county goes through their calculations, and then about the beginning of April, they will release back to me what, what the extension will be.
I know we levied at one point and had too much in one of our funds.
There's zero in tort.
Yeah.
And I am,
Solved all those problems.
right, we are not levying in tort
Fair
or
enough.
Social Security and IMRF this year. Tort, we're not levying in that fund either, so, yep.
Okay. Fantastic, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Chris Green? If not, we're in the actions section, so we're gonna have to make a motion. I'll go ahead and do it. I move to approve the resolution authorizing final aggregate tax levy for the year 2025, which includes the certificate of tax levy and separate resolutions for special education and CEDAL IMRF by the Board of Education of Warren Township High School, District number 121, Lake County, State of Illinois. Is there a second? Any discussion beyond what we've already discussed? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Pope,
Yes.
Carlson, Fields,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to approval of summer school program. The administration does not have any comments for us, but is available for questions if the board members have any. Do any board members have questions for our admin? Okay, so I move to approve the summer school program as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Squires,
Yes.
Fields, Martinez,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Carlson, Pope,
Yes.
Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, next item. Approval of authorization to file petition and application for the annexation of the Warren Township High School Alman campus into the village of Gurnee. Also for this one, the administration does not have any comments, but is available for questions if any of us have any. It looks like Steve does. Go ahead.
I was deeply involved with the solar farm when I was in the county board. And I read here where your concern is primarily police protection, and I know this has happened, but I want to hear it. The standards, if you will, that the county holds new construction and that sort of thing too. I'm trying to think of the term now, the code of anyway, are the similarities between Gurnee and the county in terms of any possible expansion, any ramifications to that? is Gurnee more strict than the county or the other way around? Has anybody looked at it?
Yeah, so I'll see if I'm answering, let me know if I'm answering your question appropriately. Generally, as it pertains to the solar farm, our legal counsel told us that they didn't feel like there were implications one way or the other to staying in the county or annexing into the village. And it does look like the village generally, probably just because they're more local, if there are more or future construction considerations, they're a little bit more able to respond to us in the moment. I would say, though, that because Old Plain is right there on the floodplain, a lot of the work that we do or have to do is going to have to continue to still involve the county personnel.
Well, just let me make a comment, because, as I say, I was deeply involved in that, and I can see the advantages, and I know my former peers would be upset with me on this, but to local control versus somebody from Zion deciding what we're gonna do with our new construction. But just a
Definitely.
comment.
Definitely. Yeah, I think having a local point of contact or municipality to work with construction, I think will be a benefit.
The biggest benefit I see is when we talk about both campuses, we're going to the same entity. Whether that's a police department, whether that's building, community development, or zoning. Just having one authority to go to is a large benefit for the organization.
We did have that problem when we were first trying to get another officer for here,
So who comes here then?
Gurnee.
Gurnee for
But that
inside the
was- we had to
building
make a
and Lake
special
County
arrangement
Sheriff
with
for
Gurnee.
outside
for the
the building, I
outside.
think.
Yes.
That's what it was.
That's what
At
it is.
Almond, yes.
At Almond.
At Almond.
If it's in the parking lot, it's a sheriff. If it's in the building, it's a Gurnee Police.
But by doing this, if it's
It's
in the
all
parking
Gurnee.
lot,
It's
it's
all
Gurnee.
Yeah.
So there may be some communication that improves of this, some responses that may improve. So there's probably only benefits here than there are
Yes.
disadvantages.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. I know I've been reading all the motions. I doubt anybody cares. Do you want me to keep doing that?
Yeah,
Been great.
All right.
we would love it.
Understood. I move to approve the authorization to file petition and application for annexation of the Warren Township High School Almond campus into the village of Gurnee.
Second.
Any additional discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Fields,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Pope,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Carlson, Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, two more items. The next one is approval of the memo of understanding for ESL endorsement incentive. And I believe that Chris Giocaris has some comments before we discuss.
So this MOU is in response to a need that we have to work to increase the number of ESL endorsed teachers to provide increased services for our English learner students, particularly in core content areas and electives. A lot of our students are long-term ELs. They've been in the country for a long time, have language skills. They just need a little bit of additional support. So this would help us achieve that goal. Financially, it does two things. It really just increases the overall cost to the district by about $200 per person that is participating in this, because it would allow the person over 2 years just to reimburse the cost over the term of the program, not restricting it within an individual school year. So a lot of times this person might pay tuition 3 times in a single school year than once in the last school year. So this would just allow us to pay for the program, and really for over the course of a 2-year, 6-course program, it would cost the district an extra $200 as opposed to what's in the contract right now. Are there any questions that I can answer?
It looked like this benefit incentive is available to even brand new teachers. Is that unusual?
Our contract right now says you have to be here for 2 years before we would start to reimburse the reimbursed tuition, so that this would be available to anybody that is currently employed, including first-year teachers.
Because this is a goal we're trying to meet, to have.
Correct.
Right, okay.
But there is a stipulation that they need to remain in the district afterwards.
Correct. There's a 3-year service requirement to the after completion of the program.
maybe on average, how many teachers currently hold the ESL certification?
Currently, we have about 22 that have ESL endorsements in the district in a variety of content areas, primarily English and math. We want to try and spread that out. And even if we had more English teachers or more math teachers, because it's not about running additional sections of sheltered English or things of that nature, it's about having ESL endorsed teachers teaching English 1 or U.S. history.
Is there a goal number of teachers you're hoping to receive?
As many as we can get.
All of them.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I'm hoping that we can get, I'm hoping for 10 would be amazing. It's a large time commitment. Want to try to have a positive experience for teachers, and hoping we can continue to encourage people to take advantage of this.
What happens
Just
if,
teachers
when we
take
don't?
advantage of it.
Oh, continue.
Oh, I was just saying I want to encourage our teachers to take advantage of it.
So we'll be sharing this, if this is approved, we would share this information with staff when we return, and then have some informational meetings for people that are interested later in the month of January, and help get people signed up.
So what happens if we don't have an ESL endorsed teacher in math? Certain math, pick a class. Do those kids that need the support just go into a class without someone who, or is it required of us to have someone with an endorsement, and therefore kids who speak a second language are limited in the flexibility in their schedule because they can only go into certain sections?
So we are required to, for students at a certain level of English proficiency, we're required to provide a certain level of language support across all content areas. We have most of that in place currently. So what this is targeting is a student who's still classified as a multilingual learner, but is at the higher end of language proficiency, just hasn't quite passed the access test. So this would provide, for example, a math class, right? So if it's a junior in Algebra 2 Trig, we would be able to pair that student with a teacher and a math teacher with an ESL endorsement in a general education Algebra 2 Trig class. So right now, that student would be in Algebra 2 Trig, but might not have a teacher that's trained in that same amount of linguistic support that they can receive from a person who has that endorsement. And from the state's perspective, since that right now, that student would be in a class where the teacher doesn't have an endorsement, the state perceives that as not receiving services. And if we had that person with that endorsement, the state does then understand that as receiving services.
So given the example of the two young gentlemen that were here, this would benefit them?
This would not be for those two people that were here, because those two students that are here.
And I want to be, hold on, I'm going to
Yeah.
insert myself. Because we're talking about specific students during a board meeting, I'm going to request that we talk in generalization, because I don't want to talk about current students.
Sure. So I would say students who are newcomers, we already have specific programming in place for them with bilingual instruction, sheltered language instruction, building English skills. This is targeting students that have been in like long-term EL, so like 5 years or more, that have stronger English skills that just need a little bit more support in a general education classroom.
Great. And through the years, I have learned that people who go through training to get ESL endorsements, those skills that they learn actually help all kids, not just kids who speak a second language. So a lot of those vocabulary kind of tricks, if you will, are good for all kids. So this is a good thing, just all around. Any other comments on this?
I want to thank real quick here before you close the meeting. Chris Green, Chris Geocaris, and Nate Karasek put a lot of time into this, and sometimes we spend less time talking about it than they put effort into it. So we celebrate a lot of adults today. I just want to appreciate them for being at the meeting tonight.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. So we haven't voted on it yet, but it will be exciting in about 15 seconds. I move to approve the MOA, or MOU, as it's kind of written as both, so I'm just going to say both. ESL endorsement incentive as presented.
Second.
Great. Any additional discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Pope,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Fields, Squires,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have
Can I be excited?
one last item. Not yet. Well, now you can.
No, thank you.
Although we already moved on from additional discussions.
Clearly.
Agenda driven. Beth Pope. Last item, which is approval of expulsion students 2026-12. I move to approve the expulsion of student 2026-12 for the period of 2 calendar years. Okay, discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Squires,
Yes.
Fields,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Yes.
Carlson, Pope,
Yes.
Demonte.
Yes.
Motion carries.
As we bring our meeting to a close, a reminder that at a governance level, we too are respectful, resilient, engaged now and always. Go Blue Devils.
Go Blue Devils.
All right, we need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I heard a motion and a second, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, motion carries, and the time is 8:35 PM.